All right, welcome back to the Elias Macko Show. Tasha Kheiriddin, national politics writer over at the National Post. She's got her own Substack. Her latest in the National Post is titled as such, ArriveCAN could be the nail in the Liberals' political coffin. Tasha's on the line. Hi, Tasha.
Hello.
Comment ça va, toi?
Ben, ça va pire en pire. Every time you read a headline, you're like, what? I'd love to say good things about this government. I'd love to say the good things were happening. There's nothing. They're not giving me anything.
Okay, but here's the thing, right? This government has been through various debacles and scams. So why is ArriveCAN different in your mind?
ArriveCAN has opened up a whole other can, literally, of worms. I don't know if you follow, well, you probably have followed the last day, where it's revealed that the firm responsible for ArriveCAN, this GC Strategies, which was operating basically out of a bungalow in Ottawa and somebody else's house, has received $258 million in contracts since 2015. So it's not just about ArriveCAN. They had 140 contracts, 46 of which were sole sourced, no competition. And apparently they were wining and dining bureaucrats in Ottawa. It's not clear whether they were connected politically, but they were definitely really plugged into the bureaucracy. Now, the bureaucracy has political overseers, right? They don't just operate in a complete vacuum. They have to account for the money they spend and how they contract out. And this is the tip of the iceberg for this, and it reminds me of ad scam back in the early 2000s. That was had definite political overtones, but here the same thing. It's like, how did this happen under the noses of this government? They've had so many problems, so many things that they've screwed up on various files. This is a bread and butter issue that the average person looks at and goes, "That is nuts. You don't know how to manage the house, right? If this was a household, you'd be on the street." No. So it's a huge confidence issue. It's an integrity issue, and to just look at this and it boggles the mind. So I think that the Conservatives have been hitting on cost of living issues, but this is one the government had under its complete control, right? Cost of living is one thing. You can't correct for inflation. You can't fix in quotes the economy. You can make conditions better for things for prosperity to arrive. But this is managing your own house, right? You can't even do that. So I think this, to me, if I were, average voter, I'd look at this and go, that number just alone sits there and stares at me, and I'm thinking, no chance.
But having said that, right, I've already seen some polling firms say they have never polled a bigger gap in the lead that the Conservatives has right now over the Liberals. 19 points was one of the recent polls I saw. So can it go lower for Justin Trudeau and the Liberals, or are they already at rock bottom, so they don't care?
Well, I think it is close to bottom. And if you look at the polling numbers, though, it's interesting where the numbers are coming from. The Conservatives are also, the People's Party of Canada has basically collapsed. Their vote's gone from close to 5% to 1.3. Mm-hmm. Those voters, I'm pretty sure, have migrated to the Conservatives. The Conservatives also, you've seen migration from the Liberals and the NDP, right? The NDP vote too. They're going to this, average, union worker, blue collar worker. That's their market now, and those people are very frustrated. So I think that have the Liberals hit rock bottom? It's not clear. What this will do, though, is put intense pressure on the Prime Minister to decide whether he's going to lead this parade next time around, because so much of this is focused on him personally and the culture around him. I really wonder whether he wants to take such a drubbing. I know he says he does now, but I really wonder.
With National Post commentator Tasha Kheiriddin. So, Tasha, give me your crystal ball then. The NDP could get rid of this government quickly if it wanted to. Doesn't seem like they want to. Maybe they got other ideas. Who knows? Bloc Québécois could prop up this government if they really wanted to. So what's your crystal ball on how this plays out?
Well, it's all coming at the same time. The NDP has a deadline of March 1st for pharmacare, right? Mm-hmm. They basically are saying in this budget, you're going to put pharmacare. Now they want to throw in not just they want to put diabetes care, they want to put birth control. They want they're like, hey, we are in the catbird seat here. Mm-hmm. Give us what we want. So, I don't know if the NDP might be looking at this. There's polling that shows they would make gains in urban centers like Toronto in terms of seats. So are they thinking maybe, with this latest thing, it's time to just crater this government? Because if we keep propping it up, what are we propping up here? It's so bad. So there is a possibility that if they don't get what they want on pharmacare, that they would, vote against the budget. I'm not sure. I still am really on the fence of them going before 2025. But this puts pressure on them too. So that chance is slightly higher now. And the Conservatives are just itching for an election. They're like, we've got lots of money, let's go. So, the Liberals, right now, nobody loves them. Nobody across the board, really. To find a pocket of love is really hard.
And what do you think, what's happening in Liberal land? Because, maybe they could say, hey, let's just do it. Let's go to the polls now because it will only get worse, right? What do you think's happening there?
That's not a good idea. Yeah. You don't go to the polls when you're down. You never do. It's not it's one thing to be down by a couple of points, fine, 2, 3, maybe even 5. But if you're down this far, to come back from that in an election campaign, a window of 36 days, good luck to you. That's not going to happen. So I don't think they will pull the plug. I don't see it. I think they're hoping to just ride this out till they have to have an election, and that some Deus ex machina happens between now and then that saves them. That pictures of Pierre Poilievre with goats, or I don't know what. Good luck though. It'd have to be so bad, I think, to turn the tide here.
And Tasha, I have a note here from a listener saying it's not a they, it's a Trudeau issue, right? But then, of course, you've got Stephen Guilbeault telling everyone we can't have roads anymore. So
I was going to say, it's he's got nobody on his, this is the problem, is everyone keeps screwing up on various parts of his team. It's not just him. He's wearing a lot of it. But yes, the Guilbeault comment. Melanie Joly at Foreign Affairs, which is, if you talk to anyone inside, the bubble, there's Foreign Affairs is completely dysfunctional. Dysfunctional. They're running their politics, their policies on domestic politics, and it's a disaster. So there's nobody there that really, that's helping him by being a shining star. François-Philippe Champagne's being courted by the provincial Liberals. You probably know more about that than me, but I've heard that. So, everyone's kind of looking at with an side eye to the exit door, right? That's not helpful either.
I find that so laughable, by the way, François-Philippe Champagne. Let me tell you, it would be such a disaster. I think it would end like Stéphane Dion being at the helm of the federal Liberals. I think that's how it would work out if that happened provincially, but I digress.
Well, he's being touted as potential federal Liberal leader, so why would he do that? I don't see it.
Get him. Yeah, you know what? He did such a good job with Loblaws. Get him as the leader of the party. Okay, Tasha, I got to leave it there. Thanks so much.
Okay.
That's it. Bye. Tasha Kheiriddin. You can read her words in the National Post and on her Substack.